morning. So, what are we working with today? We have a power pack which has seen better days. This plug, I want to swap it so it's actually a bit safer. Now, a lot of people will give me grief for cutting up and damaging an original. However, if you're one of those people, look away now. Sorry. So, why did I cut that off? Because I don't know how bad the wires are corroded, and quite frankly I'd rather not mess around too much with them. Instead, I'm going to put a new plug on and I've done with it. So for your international people, that's your standard UK plug, and we are allowed to swap them in the UK. I know you can't see everything, so, and I apologise for the focus being absolutely shoddy. So the new camera I'm trying, it seems to like to focus on one bit and nothing else. Better. So all I've done is cut that original plug off and trimmed it back a bit and exposed some fresh copper, which I know and can see, shall I say, isn't damaged. Now, before we carry on, what is this? It's this generic AC adapter. It's a NES 002. 17 watt power supply. What is interesting about these is they are AC 9 volts rather than DC. But if I was to swap this, I could swap it for a generic 9 volt DC power supply, as long as it's got the right connector on it, and it will work. That is the joys about the NES. It doesn't actually need, oops, wrong thing. It doesn't need to have AC input. It will work with DC. And yep, that's all good. So I also need one of these. This is a lesson in how not to do plug work. Just remember, I'm not a trained electrician. If you were to do this, you do it at your own risk. And I am not responsible if anybody does anything wrong. What is unusual about this for the UK these days is there is no earth. So no protective ground, or whatever else you want to call it. Nope, that won't work, that one. The only thing I do dislike about UK plugs is how many different screws that manage to get into it. You have one sort of screw for opening it up, you have another screw for the terminals, and then you seem to often have a different screw again for your hold down grip, and that one doesn't fit. Let's try this one. Better. So, what was I doing there? I was just loosening the tie down grommet so then I can feed this underneath. And then, like with all good things, you have to be very careful with how you do this, but you effectively feed it into the contacts. I know you can't see much, and I apologise for that. In fact, I'll take it off. It's in my way too much at the minute. So yes, I know it's a 13 amp fuse that's there. It's brown. It's all I've got to hand at the moment. I trust. I will, however, get some really low ampage ones later. It only needs a 1.3 amps for the power supply, so I'll see if I can find a 3 amp when I go out next. Nope, that failed. So what you don't want to be doing with plugs is, see how that got copper showing? That's bad. Because it means two things. One, with how much wire there was, there's not enough inside. And two, it's possible that you can get a short. Very unlikely, but it's possible. Or you're going to have a really bad connection, which is the most likely thing, that's going to overheat. There we go, that's better. That's on. So I'm going to clamp it down. And I'm going to shift my position because, there we go, I wasn't comfy. Can't be having an uncomfy Claire. I appreciate this bit's not interesting, but it's one of those safety things that I need to do. I don't know how old that other plug is, and that particular moulding style hasn't been used in years. So I just don't know what it's like inside, and I'm not going to start opening something that I don't like the look of. But that is how to quickly swap a UK plug. Tug test, not going anywhere. There we go. One plug done. So that will be I say a lot safer. It'll be safer. We'll test it out properly later. But for now, let's move on with the show.